Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a bit different. I mean, it really isn't, because we've done a few story times. Actually, no, I think we've done one on how I got fired from my first time at Superdrug. But this is another story. I've been fired many times, but this is another story on how I got fired. And I left the meeting. So I was having a meeting and I left. I took myself to Mercedes World and drove a G-Wagon. So let's get into it. I feel like I have to tell the story with my sunglasses on because I'm a little bit embarrassed, but like, who cares? I've been fired from plenty jobs, and that's not because I'm a bad worker. If you guys know me, I'm like a workaholic. I work hard, but I feel like I will not stay in a job where you're taking advantage of me and you're going to violate me. Hell no. I ain't going to tell you exactly where I worked, but I worked I'll get into it for a bit. I worked in Sainsbury's. Everyone knows this. I worked in Sainsbury's. It's nothing new. But Sainsbury's decided to end my contract and give me to another company. I didn't ask for this, but I didn't want to lose my job. So obviously I had no choice but to go over to this company. Anywho, started working for this company, and I am a big person on reading contracts. I never used to be like a big person on reading contracts. I'm like, a job's a job, like it is what it is. But guys, when I tell you, read your contracts, read your terms and conditions. So I ain't gonna tell you what company I worked for, but I worked for this company. A lot of you guys know I advertised for this company. I was the face of this company. People thought I was, I don't know, I don't know what they thought. But I was the face of the company, which made it even worse because my face was everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Everywhere. People would be like, oh, you're from the advert. Yeah, everywhere. I was everywhere. With this job position, there's many job positions. And I remember my contract only being for one job position. Guys, sorry, my finger. If you ain't seen that vlog, check that vlog out. But yeah, I remember having one job position to them making me do every single job position, not giving me a pay rise. Does that sound right to you guys? I'm not a fool. You can't take me for idiots. If you think you're gonna make me do multiple jobs and still get the same pay, you're insane. I was not accepting none of that. There's multiple things. We'll get into it. That's why we're doing this whole story time. But anyways, yeah, so they wanted me to do multiple jobs, so including my job, and then work. What time would I used to work? I think I used to work like 6 a.m, but I had to get in for 5, and then make a billion sandwiches. Am I a sandwich maker? Make a billion sandwiches, take pictures of these sandwiches and the ingredients, like open up the sandwiches, take pictures of the sandwiches and the ingredients to see that I made it right, and then upload it to this group chat, and it had to be done by 6 a.m. So imagine my shift actually starts at 6, but you want me in for 5 to make What was that? Oh God. It was a moth. I'm contracted to work at 6 o'clock. You want me in at 5 to make a billion sandwiches, put them on the shelf, take a picture, send it to you in a group chat, and then do my job on top of the job that I just did that I'm not really getting paid for. Does that sound right? No. And then I just disagreed to that because I said, hello, I've got so much to do in the morning. You want me to come in earlier and you're not paying me for it. And then you want to micromanage me by sending in a WhatsApp group by a certain time. And I just ended up leaving the group chat. And then, yeah, I got pulled in for a meeting because they're like, Rosian, like, hello, we need to keep tabs on you and you're not in the group chat. And I'm like, oh, well, boy, you can't keep tabs on me, because one thing about me is once I've tapped out, I've tapped out. Like, you think I'm going to be sending you updates on everything I'm doing whilst I'm trying to run a shift? Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I was a supervisor. I was like one of the managerial roles. I was a supervisor. Anyway, so I was like, oh, hell no. I'm doing my job. You will see when the sales come through. I'm doing my job, whatever. And then an incident occurred where there was a massive oil spillage in the kitchen. Again, not my job. I've got nothing to do with that, because you have different supervisors for different things. I managed my lot. The people who were a part of the oil spillage, they had a supervisor for that, but they wanted me. Again, I can see why, because I'm very level-headed, I'm very intelligent, I'm very proactive. However, that's not my job. Again, if you want me to do something, you need to pay up. I had a massive oil spillage, and there was smoke in the kitchen. again, we had what do you call it, extraction fans, but no one knew where the switch was. This building was very new at the time, so nobody knew where anything was. We didn't really have a run through of health and safety. Again, alarm bells are going off in my head because I'm like, when we didn't have a practice alarm, like fire alarm, we didn't know nothing. We just working like dog. We're just working. So anyways, my common sense, evacuate the kitchen. There's oil on the floor. The kitchen's gone up in smokes. People are coughing and choking. One's having a panic attack. One can't breathe. Evacuate the kitchen. I got pulled in for a meeting. Oh, we're losing sales. You can't do that. Da, 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 da. I thought health and safety came first. If I made people work in that condition, there won't be sales because they will be dead and gone. Does that make sense? So I got pulled up for that, about my behavior and losing out on sales. And then one rotted morning, I come in to make these bloody sandwiches, and what do I see? A mouse on the floor. I wish I might put some of these clips in. I might not. They could sue me later on down the line, but like, who cares? I'm on a ladder. There's a dirty mouse on the floor. I'm wondering if I should put this box on top of it, but who's going near it? It's sleeping. It's sleeping. Don't be rude. That's sad. It was a sweatshop. It was really a sweatshop, and I hated working there. Every day that I was there, I hated working there. But a part of me loved it because my sister was there, but I hated it. I hated it so much. There's just loads of things. Like I said, I don't want them to sue me later on down the line because I can't afford that. But that job, yeah, it was a hazard. It was a hazard. They didn't care about your life. They didn't care about your health, your wealth. I had one guy wanting to shout at me one day. It was a staff member, an employee. He went to shout at me one day, and I said, hold on, because I was actually complimenting him, but I think he was just having a really shitty day that he just took it out on me. And then he went to shout at me, and I was like, listen, my guy, what you're not going to do is talk to me like that, especially because I'm your supervisor as well. And he was like, I don't give a I said, continue and I'll make you work for free. Guys, one thing about me, I'm petty. I was like, continue and I'll make you work for free. Best believe this man continued. I went to the office, deleted him off the roster. Deleted him off the roster because I was like, I gave you a warning and you continued. So he worked for free. He didn't get paid for that day. And I don't think he even realized. I'm petty. I gave you a warning. You continued. I took him off the roster. He worked for free. It's as simple as that. Yeah, I've been fired from so many jobs, guys. And this is not me bragging. This is me saying that you need to know your worth. You need to read your contract, know what you're being paid for, and don't go above and beyond for companies trying to get a bonus or whatever it is, recognition. Because, guys, if you make a mistake and it's not in your contract to do such things, they will fire you. They don't care about you. You're just a number. You're just a statistic. As sad as it sounds, you really are. They will save their own neck. And I've had managers over the years that will throw me under the bus. And I'll look at them like, really? It's not worth it. And you guys have a livelihood. You have a life you want to fund. It's not worth it. Guys, read your contracts. I cannot stress this enough. All the jobs that I've been fired for is because either I've gone above and beyond for them and it wasn't in my contract, or I just wasn't accepting certain things. And that job, I was not accepting none of that because I'm like, hold on. You want me to continue running service and there's mice running around? No, hell no, hell no. And you guys know me. I don't deal with mice. Well, I don't deal with them at all. So I was not working in that condition, guys. When I tell you in service, best believe they picked up 4 mice that day. I was out. Have a good day. I ain't working in them conditions, and we're working around food. Like, what? Like, what are we talking about here? Yeah, that's me just saying, guys, don't be like a menace at work. Read your contract. If you feel uncomfortable doing something, say no. What are you going to do? Fire you? Probably. But your life, your livelihood, your health and safety is priority. Get comfortable saying no, guys. I got comfortable saying no. And that's why I'm in such a great position now, because I know what to say no to. I read my contract, and if they ask me to do something, I'm like, my contract doesn't state this. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I won't do that. So yeah, get comfortable in saying no. And like I said, don't be ignorant with it. Just read your contract, see what you're entitled to do. If it's not in your contract, don't do it. But say it nicely. I got fired from that job. I called them out and I said, listen, you guys are running a sweatshop here. You guys are not like prioritizing the safety of your employees. We're working in these conditions. They're poor, really poor. Again, I don't want to speak too tough on it. I was a bit upset. I feel like anytime I do get fired, I am a bit upset because I'm like, where's my next pound gonna come from? But at the same time, I know it's best for me. It's best for me to go. And I know that God's always on my side. He will never lead me astray. And something always comes up in the end. Or he's just like, Rosian, you need a break, and then I'll give you a job. But like, yeah, that day I remember I was at my sister's house. It was a Zoom call. I was a bit upset because I was like, listen, I advocated for all these employees and their safety, and the fact that you won't give me the recognition for that. Oh, that's another thing, guys. If people won't give you your flowers, just leave them to it. You know your worth. You know that you should be given flowers. Leave them to it. Not everyone's going to be on your side. Don't be a pick me. But like, yeah, it was a bit sad that they wouldn't recognize that I was advocating for everyone. And guys, another tip, don't be an advocate for the ones that don't speak up. Be an advocate for the ones who will use their own voice to advocate for themselves, because you don't want to put yourself in some shit and these lot are quiet in the back. I've learned that the hard way. I realized that these people weren't for me. They weren't on my side. They didn't care about us. They only cared about sales and upselling and bringing in more revenue. I knew it was a no for me, so I was upset that I didn't know where my next paycheck was coming from, but I was excited to get out of there. And I just didn't care about that meeting. I shut down that laptop and I said, all right, I'm going Mercedes World. I think I had it already pre-booked. So that's a blessing in disguise. And I went to Mercedes World and I drove a G-Wagon.
Which way we go?
We're going to go straight through in front there. Yeah.
Gas?
Yeah, bit of gas.
Okay.
Grab seconds. And we'll let this water's quite deep through here, so just enter nice and gently. Feel it through the floor.
Yeah, I can feel it as well. Yeah.
So keep this going. Nice and steady.
Sounds like it's all still camping.
Exhaust underwater blowing bubbles.
Yeah. Yes?
Yeah, keep on going.
For those racetracks to that side, do you need license on this?
Yeah.
And I had the best day of my life. I could go into way more stories on like how I got fired from other jobs, but like I said, it's not like I'm just like not a good worker. I'm a hard worker. I work hard. I work when I can. If I can, I will do it because I love money too much. I love money. I love money too much. I love money too much. I love money too much. I think the love for money came from not being able to fund things myself or being left out of activities because I personally didn't have the funds. So like, if I do want to go out, I make sure that I have the money. The reason why I am the way I am is it comes from somewhere. It comes from a place. It comes from an experience. It comes from a story. It comes from a past. And I just remember not having a lot of money and not being able to go certain places. So now I make sure my ass is always in work so I can afford these luxury, even if it's not luxurious, so I can just like afford these experiences and these memories and be comfortable going out. So yeah, guys, be good in school, get a good job. Even if you're in a job that you're not happy with, as in like financial wise, is that the word? Financially wise? No. If you're not in a job that doesn't pay financially good, is that the word I'm looking for? If you're in a job that doesn't pay well, that's just layman terms. I ain't got time for this. This is like a midnight. I'm tired. If you're in a job that doesn't pay that well, stick to it until you find another one. Like, all my other jobs that I've been fired from, I personally would have stayed in the job until I found something else. But I think God just knew I just needed to come out. I needed to come out. I was losing my mind. I was going to scrap someone. Don't scrap people, guys, but I was going to scrap someone. So I think God just took me out. But if you can find a job whilst in a job, do that, guys, because the job market is shite right now. And it's really hard to get a job. So don't dwell on your job position. Something will come. Something always comes. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. There's always a rainbow. Yeah, just stick to it, guys. I'm telling you, a job will come, but just don't leave that job yet. All right, I know they're a pain in the ass. Don't leave that job yet. I wish God said come out. When I came out, well, I didn't come out, he took me out, because I wasn't going nowhere. He took me out and said, Rashawn, you're done, move on. That's how I got fired. And I went and drove a G-Wagon and had the best day of my life. And I actually need to go back to Mercedes World, because they have like so many other vehicles that I want to drive. Like they have a AMG. Funny enough, after I left Mercedes World, I actually went to view an AMG. I didn't even book a test drive. I don't know why. But I remember they had this like car giant. I don't think they have them things anymore. They don't even have zip cars anymore, guys. I didn't even know that. Zip cars are not a thing anymore. Why? I was actually going to hire a zip car, and it's not in the UK no more. That is so silly. Because I used to hire a zip van, but I never got the chance to hire a zip car. We're going off topic, but yeah. I want to go back to Mercedes World, because you can drive so many different cars, and they have like a little museum. Oh, it's fun. If you haven't been Mercedes World, go, guys. It's fun. I can't remember where it is. I just remember it was being far, but I left and I drove to Mercedes World and I had a blast. I think that's it from this video. I don't know what other advice to give you guys apart from stay in your job until you find a new job. Say no to things you're uncomfortable to. Oh, guys, don't be shy to ask for a pay rise. If you can, ask for a pay rise. I mean, if you're a hard worker and you know your worth, ask for a pay rise. No harm in asking for a pay rise. The worst they can say is no. Ask for a pay rise. Guys, like I said, just know your worth. Know your worth. If you know your worth, ask for that damn pay rise. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.